All right, guys. Today's kind of a little bit of a bad news. This video that we're about to talk about. There's been a lot of speculation in regards to Microsoft and Nintendo and how they've been working together. I mean, we've gotten Cuphead on the Switch. We've gotten Cuphead on Smash. We've gotten Minecraft Steve in Smash. We got Ori and the Will of the Wisp coming to the Nintendo Switch. And people have been clamoring for more information, maybe if Microsoft and Nintendo will be continuing to collab in the near future. Maybe they'll be doing a lot more games coming back and forth, from Xbox to Switch, or possibly vice versa. Who knows? But now, the outlook doesn't look so good for any future Xbox and Nintendo collaborations. And it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, we're lucky that we got what we got, but I'm going to read an article that talks about Phil Spencer going on record to talk about the relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo and the future for it. If this is your first time coming to the channel, guys, why don't you click the red subscription button down below so you can help me get to 73,000 subscribers. I appreciate y'all for being here all the time. Let's get to this. Very sad news. So, Xbox and Nintendo collaborations are not sustainable, according to Xbox head. Phil Spencer has stated that a continued relationship with Nintendo doesn't feel sustainable, meaning there might not be more Xbox games on Switch. Oh man, this is a bummer, honestly. I mean, I have an Xbox and a Switch anyway, but it's still a bummer that this collaboration effort could be coming to an end because I saw potential in it. But let's continue. Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, doesn't think that future collaborations with Nintendo are sustainable. The two companies have enjoyed a surprisingly friendly relationship in recent months. Microsoft has ported a few of its own titles like Cuphead and the Ori games to the Switch, and those are some pretty big titles. Fans of Nintendo's blockbuster fighting game Super Smash Bros. Ultimate have also seen Microsoft characters like Banjo and Kazooie join the roster, as well as Minecraft Steve earlier this week. So two big additions to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. His addition was especially exciting for Minecraft fans despite the technical issues his unique crafting mechanics bring to certain stages. So here we go. Nintendo is certainly not the only video game company Microsoft has been fraternizing with. Last month, the video game community was rocked by the news that Microsoft bought out ZeniMax Media for a cooler than the other side of the pillow, $7.5 billion, which was huge acquisition by them, bringing with it big names like Bethesda, id Software, and Arcane. This has filled out Microsoft's game library with iconic franchises like Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom, Wolfenstein, you name it. The company's upcoming console, the Xbox Series X, will surely profit from that sale in a big way, and I completely agree with that. But here we go, guys. It says a major buyout of a developer company is much different from an occasional collaboration with a rival console producer. In a recent interview with Kotaku, Phil Spencer's been talking to Kotaku and other media outlets left and right, giving a lot of juicy little details on future plans for Xbox, but this is pretty juicy. Phil Spencer touched on his company's relationship with Nintendo, among many other things. Spencer did mention that his company has had an excellent relationship with Nintendo, and they definitely have, and then conversations and negotiations between the two studios have been very easy and pleasant. However, he did affirm that future Xbox games coming to Nintendo Switch doesn't feel sustainable. He claims that in order to truly support Xbox games on Switch, he would prefer a full ecosystem in the vein of Xbox Game Pass. So there's always been some kind of hint or rumor going on that Game Pass would be coming to Nintendo Switch. I'm a big advocate of Game Pass, by the way. I love it. I'm absolutely for it. I support it 100%. The xCloud, Game Pass, gaming, any play anywhere type of aspect of it, fantastic. If a Nintendo Switch version of Game Pass came out, I would be on that like flies on rice. So he says this stance is in keeping with a statement from Xbox last year when the company announced that it had no plans to put more Xbox games on non-Xbox consoles. When Ori and the Will of the Wisp came out on Switch earlier this year, some took that as a sign that Xbox had gone back on that announcement because that was actually a pretty big deal. This interview does seem to dash those hopes quite efficiently, if that's an understatement. Spencer claimed that the Ori re-release was a simple case of fulfilling the wishes of the developer. Even though Microsoft published the game, it doesn't own it. That one anomaly is not an indication of future Microsoft games on Switch. So that's unfortunate. So this is definitely a shame for Nintendo fans. Owning multiple video game consoles is a very expensive proposition, and Xbox games finding the way to Switch has been a great way to broaden player bases for some of Microsoft's best products. It's understandable that Microsoft would want to focus on exclusives to boost sales of the Xbox Series X, and according to analysts, that might pay dividends. But a lot of Switch owners would definitely bereft if they can't afford an Xbox Series X. I'm sorry, I have that. So, I mean, that is definitely a bummer. Now, this quote right here where he says, prefer a full ecosystem in the vein of Game Pass, has my noggin thinking. It has my gears grinding. Because at this current point in time, to say it's not sustainable is true. I don't know how much of a cut in profit Xbox makes from a game like Ori coming over to the Nintendo Switch or Minecraft Steve coming. But if Game Pass seems to be Microsoft's like big push. You know, you got the Series X and the Series S coming out, that's fine. But it seems like they're determined to get the xCloud gaming and the Game Pass concept out there to get as many subscriptions and users on that. Get as much content like ZeniMax, all that content, that's coming to Game Pass. Content's key for a subscription service like that. That's why Netflix and Hulu do so well. To say collaborations with Xbox and Nintendo are not sustainable in their current form makes me think how true this rumor might be that Game Pass might eventually, some kind of form of Game Pass or something in the vein of Game Pass might show up on Nintendo Switch if they're to continue this. That's what I'm getting from this. This goes along with the speculation of that. I mean, if you think about it, Game Pass quite often has indie games that are also on Nintendo Switch. Game Pass has some good first-party titles and stuff like that. But a lot of these games, would they even run on the Switch in their state if Game Pass was to be on the Nintendo Switch? That's the curious thing. So if something in the vein, it wouldn't be directly what Game Pass is on the Xbox console. It would be a special version of Game Pass if that happens. I don't know. Maybe it could happen. Stranger things have happened, right? They might throw a surprise. They might have some kind of, way of making it a sustainable system for Xbox games to be on the Switch. Because then they would get a percentage of the subscriptions through Game Pass. So who knows, guys? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. What do you think about Xbox Phil Spencer saying that it can't be sustainable at this continued relationship with Nintendo? Do you think they have something up their sleeve? Maybe Game Pass? Would you like to see Game Pass on the Switch? Let me know your thoughts about just everything that they've done together as a collaboration, and subscribe if you haven't, guys. Very interesting. A little bit of a letdown, but I think there might be a secret silver lining to this situation. But subscribe if you haven't, guys, already. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.